Today, I'm going to discuss a big question that you've probably had for a long time. Why are American cars so damn big? We are looking at the rise and fall of the compact car in North America. Imagine a world where you can drive down the highway in a Toyota Echo without the fear of being crumpled like a drunk teenager flattening a beer can by a massive Dodge Ram pickup truck. Those days have been long gone for a while. The once popular compact cars have slowly been replaced by large trucks, gas-guzzling SUVs, and crossovers. Back in 1995, which really wasn't even that long ago, new vehicle sales in the US were 57% cars and 43% trucks. Today, 80% of new vehicles sold in the United States are classified as light trucks. So, first of all, what even is a compact car? Look on your screen here for examples if you don't know, but let's get into the technicalities a little bit. Compact cars have between 100 and 109 cubic feet of passenger and cargo volume and fall between 161 and 187 inches long. Typically, they should be able to comfortably seat 4 passengers and are often lower to the ground than a typical SUV. A few prominent examples that you might see on the road today include the Honda Civic, Toyota Corolla, and Mazda 3. So, the pressing question, why have these vehicles fallen to the wayside? I think there are 3 reasons for this. The first reason is the regulatory environment. U.S. fuel economy rules require automakers to meet fleet-wide efficiency targets, but light trucks, such as pickups, SUVs, and minivans that weigh between 6,000 and 8,500 pounds, face looser standards. In 2010, passenger cars needed 27.5 miles per gallon, while light trucks only required 23.5 miles per gallon, incentivizing manufacturers to produce more of them because of that 4 miles per gallon difference. The system has evolved, but it still continues to favor larger vehicles. Electric vehicles, or EVs, add to this trend since their miles per gallon equivalency ratings list even enormous vehicles like the Tesla Cybertruck, for example, as more efficient than gas cars. But just because the auto manufacturers can produce more of these large vehicles doesn't mean that people will actually buy them. Right? Wrong. People want these large vehicles, which brings me to my second reason. Shifting consumer preferences, including perceived safety benefits. A 2021 study conducted by AutoTrader here in Canada found that 30% of consumers who intended to buy a replacement vehicle in the following 2 years wanted to increase the size. Furthermore, 64% of current SUV owners indicated they plan to buy another SUV as their next vehicle. This upsizing trend is problematic because, as per a 2022 study from the Journal of Public Policy, an increase in perceived safety leads to riskier driving habits. They proposed what we call the car cushion hypothesis, which suggests that bigger cars make people feel more secure and increase their level of risk-taking behavior, similar to football players getting more injuries than rugby players because they have a helmet on and they think that makes them invincible or something like that. One of my friends actually recently bought a 2019 Toyota Tacoma, and I'll tell you straight up, it's a pretty nice ride. It's got big black leather seats, leg room, touchscreen infotainment, large buttons and dials with the nice clicks fit in your hand, not like the tiny ones on, Toyota Corolla or something. And of course, it has a high driving position, which is optimal for viewing when you're driving, seeing the cars in front of you and behind you, and also just makes you feel a little bit superior, maybe. Being a truck, it has extra space in the back for camping equipment, hockey gear, or basically anything else you want, making it very convenient. So it's easy to see why people like large vehicles. And yes, he loves his Tacoma. But how does this consumer shift translate to the income statement of car makers? Well, if it isn't obvious, it increases their profitability, of course. This is the third reason. Larger vehicles offer higher profit margins for auto manufacturers, and therefore they're prioritized, especially during supply chain shortages, because they only have enough resources to make a certain number of vehicles, and they're going to focus on the ones that make the most money, obviously. Manufacturers can make profits of $10,000 or more per vehicle on light trucks and as little as a few $100s on smaller car models, according to the Center for Automotive Research. An example of this would be in 2018, when Ford announced that they would be discontinuing almost all of their passenger vehicles in North America. The only one that remained was the Mustang, a sports car. At the time, now it's some EV crossover thing. Why did they do this? Higher margins on their F-Series trucks.
The bigger cars are a lot safer, they're put together a lot better, and they have a lot more comfort.
In conclusion, the compact car has slowly been overtaken by larger vehicles. Even the once tiny compacts themselves have gotten bigger. Think back to the Honda Civics of the 1970s or even the late 60s. And if you don't know about those, look them up. They're pretty sick, but they're a lot smaller than the Honda Civics of today. This shift has been driven by the three aspects that we looked at: the regulatory environment, shifting consumer preferences, and superior profitability. But maybe there's still hope for small cars. A 2023 survey by YouGov found that 41% of Americans think SUVs and pickup trucks have become too big. Combined with the rising pressure to address the impacts of climate change, maybe this trend will turn around. And if it does, it might make underground parking more like a chore and less like an extreme sport. In fact, we're starting to see more and more imports here in North America.
If we have to overnight parts from Japan,
we have a lot of smaller cars on the road. Honda Civics, Toyota Corolla, Toyota Prius, Hyundai Elantra, Subarus, and various different types of crossovers. Are crossovers already the new SUVs? Is the compact car next? Time will tell. Let me know in the comments what you think about it, and stay tuned for my next video, coming soon, why you need a compact car in 2026. Thanks. See ya.